All right, this is our game review for MouthpieceSportsTalk.com. The game preview right on the money. If it wasn't for a Jake Elliott missed extra point, we would have hit the score right on the money. We had 34-10 and ended 33-10. We're not worried about it. The Eagles are 7-1, looking good. Yeah, it was a sloppy game, but it was a sloppy day around the entire NFL. The Eagles persevered. They got through it. They got the W. They're moving on to Denver. They're 7-1 with another home game and then a bye on the horizon. It wasn't the prettiest game, but the Eagles got the job done. So we're not going to complain. Three things we watched. Number one, playing versus inferior competition. I don't think it played much of a role. I think the Eagles, especially defensively, stepped up the entire game. Offense was flat. Granted, it was a sloppy game. It was a sloppy day in general. I don't think it played much of a role. I don't think the Eagles played down to their level of competition at all, to be honest with you. The defense they never let San Francisco breathe. We'll get into them in a second. But I don't think playing an inferior opponent really played a role. And I think Doug Peterson has a lot to do with that. I think he is doing a great job as the head coach, and that's what we talked about in the preview. Can Doug get this team ready to play again after two primetime games? He did. They were ready to play. There's no doubt about it. The Eagles were ready to play today, and they got the job done. The left side of the offensive line, Vaitai wasn't pressed early by San Francisco. I think they were that Lane Johnson got beat a couple times. I think the offensive line in general played pretty bad today. I don't think Vaitai was really that bad. I don't think he was great. I don't think he was that bad. Steven Wisniewski that left guard position is maybe a bigger issue than the left tackle position. The left side of the line in general is not that great. So nothing they did today makes me feel any better about going forward. But they got the job done. And Vaitai wasn't the problem for most of the game. I don't know what you thought, but I don't think Vaitai was that big of an issue today. Now, moving forward, we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles made a move, either sign a guy or make a trade before Tuesday's 4 p.m. deadline. Speaking of the 4 p.m. deadline, I said I wanted to see the Eagles make a statement game on defense. Yeah, they made a statement today on defense. Michael Kendricks all over the field. We specifically said we wanted to see Michael Kendricks step up. He stepped up. He had a monster game. He had 6 tackles, a sack. He was all over the field. If he can play like that, the Eagles aren't going to miss Jordan Hicks as much as we thought. But Joe Walker, holy smokes. Again, I wouldn't mind seeing the Eagles add a linebacker if possible. Linebackers just aren't falling off trees right now, but it would be nice if they can add a middle linebacker of some sort or an outside linebacker to let Kendricks play the inside. But, what more could you say about the Eagles' defense? San Francisco did not stand a chance. The 49ers had no shot. C.J. Beathard, forget it. We said they would force multiple turnovers. They forced multiple turnovers. We said that there would be a defensive score today. There was a defensive score today. We said they would have multiple sacks. They had 4. The Eagles' defense was insane. Fletcher Cox, that sack, I think they said it was the fastest. I think it was like 3.26 seconds that Cox got to the quarterback. Pretty incredible performance by the Eagles' defense. Granted, they're going against a pretty bad defense. So we'll see what they have against Dallas and the big offenses, Seattle and coming up. But, the Eagles' defense is legit. Jalen Mills, that pick 6 was incredible. The Eagles' defense stepped up and did exactly what they needed to do today. We'll get into the grades here in a second, but I think they did, everything I was looking for them to do. And Michael Kendricks, I gave you a compliment 2 weeks ago. I bashed you the week after. I'm giving you another compliment. That's how we need you to play going forward. Great job today. Not that you're watching this, but great job today. As far as grades, quarterback, I think he played well. There were some missed opportunities. We'll get into that. Wentz report will be out 11 a.m. tomorrow, right before Doug. So, you have to check that. The only Philadelphia article in this city dedicated solely to the most important player in the Eagles franchise, Carson Wentz, the Wentz report, 11 a.m. Running backs, I'm going to give the running backs a B. LeGarrette Blount, I love that run at the end. He just gives this team an attitude, doesn't he? He is nasty. I think Corey Clement played well. Didn't see much of Smallwood, but I would like to see a little bit more of Smallwood. But this was a LeGarrette Blount game. Yeah, they didn't rush for a ton of yards, but I think they played well, and I love LeGarrette Blount. He just gives his team an attitude. Receivers, I'm going to give the receivers a B. Receivers tight end, I'm going to give a B+. Again, Ertz in the end zone. That connection is just on another level. Like I said last week, they're it. They're the Manning Harrison for the Eagles. Just a great connection. Even Alshon, we finally got the Alshon. We see what Alshon could be. That deep touchdown. That's what we need from Alshon. I think he opens up the rest of this offense too. I think he's doing more than we actually think he's doing out there. Aguilar, Snagalore, again. This. And we said Mac Hollins. We wanted to see more of Mac Hollins. We got more of Mac Hollins. I need to see a little bit more. I love it. I think the Eagles have one of the best receiving corps in the NFL right now. Who would have thought that a year ago? Great job. B+ from Ertz. Even Brent Selleck, who could have had a touchdown. Wentz missed him. B+ from that group today. Sensational job. Offensive line, D+. I thought the offensive line was horrendous today. Yeah, it was sloppy. But I just didn't think they were very good. I thought Lane Johnson was bad. I thought Wisniewski was bad. I didn't think Kelsey was great. I know everybody else is going to tell me he was great, but I just don't think he was. I watched the game. I was at the game. I saw it with 2 eyes. I didn't think he was that great. Brooks, I mean, he's solid always, but the quarterback's getting hit too much. I mean, if you can't see that, then I don't know what to tell you. The quarterback's getting hit too much. The offensive line did not have a great game today. Defensive line, A. Dominated the entire game. Derek Barnett, even with a block kick. Awesome game from the defensive line. Fletcher Cox, the chant from the crowd when he was down. I thought maybe he had a head injury. He got right back up. He was the last one to bring the Eagles onto the field today. The defensive line is just on another level right now. And this is what you need to win in the NFL. A great defensive line. The Eagles' run defense is frightening. If you think you're going to run the ball in the Eagles, you better figure out another game plan, because this team right now, defensively, they can stop the run against anybody. That's Dallas included, Pittsburgh included. Defensive line, dominant today. Linebackers, I'm going to give them a solid B+. Joe Walker, not an NFL player, I don't think, unfortunately, but Michael Kendricks, great job. Nigel Bradham, great job. I would like to see maybe if they could upgrade that position. It's not like I said, it's not like linebackers are falling off trees, but it would be nice if they could upgrade the position. But great job from the linebackers today. I can't really complain about anybody on defense. Secondary, I'm just going to give them an A. Mills Island, pick 6. Malcolm Jenkins all over the field again. Rodney McLeod, interception. Rasul Douglas making plays. Patrick Robinson got hurt. I hope he's okay because he's having a sensational year. And remember, Ronald Darby's coming back. Only going to get better from here. Sensational job. Special teams, 2 missed extra points. And like I said, the one that cost us the perfect score. But special teams, I'm going to give it a B+. You block a kick. Barner had a pretty good game in the return game. No mistakes. Elliott made a 50-yarder. I mean, we got a kicker of the future. Special teams, not a bad job again. Overall, this is what you wanted to see. You wanted to be 7-1 after today. The Eagles won a convincing game. Everybody, for the most part, is healthy, besides, obviously, the guys we lost last week. But everybody coming out of this game should be healthy. 7.5-point favorite against Denver next week, and a bye after that. Everything is in front of the Eagles. I mean, it's a great time to be a Philadelphia Eagle fan. Seattle, yeah, they won, but do they look great? No. Saints don't look great. Falcons stink. Cowboys look pretty good. That's probably their biggest competition. We'll get into that on the podcast. But all in all, this was a successful day for the Philadelphia Eagles. 7-1 is 7-1. Nobody can take it away. So we'll see you next week against Denver. Big test for the offensive line. Von Miller coming to town. Eagles 7.5-point favorite. Wentz report tomorrow, 11 a.m. The only article in Philadelphia solely dedicated to the most important player in the franchise, Carson Wentz. Wentz report, 11 a.m. tomorrow. Talk to you then.